Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing. While the weather hasn't been that kind this past week, those that had the opportunity to sneak out were rewarded well. The highlight being a 54 centimetre, 1 kilo plus King George whiting caught in Western Port. That picture coming to you very shortly. Tonight we're joined by Jennifer Arch from Lifesaving Victoria to discuss rock fishing safety. All the regular segments too, so let's get into it. Adam Ring, as always, how's your holidays? And of course, how is young Piper?
Very, very well. And I think this holidays I've discovered a new favourite thing in my life, apart from my newborn daughter, is going to bed knowing that an alarm is not going to go off in the morning.
How good is that? Have you brought a new alarm into your life? Like, is she sleeping well? Is she getting up during the night?
No, sleeping really well. And my wife's getting up to feed her and I don't even wake up. So she must be doing something right there as well.
That's not proper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Trelly, great to see you as well. I've got a question for you about crickets, grasshoppers and locusts.
Oh, has it got to do with peanut oil or anything like that?
I was just going to say, do you eat them like Barty grubs?
Willing to give it a go. Yeah. Absolutely.
There you go.
Don't want to die wondering.
Lock it in.
Now, my real question for you is, obviously it's cricket season, and I'm not saying that's on telly and the big bash and all that sort of stuff, but they're outside the window all night long, aren't they? Like, you guys got them at your house?
Yep.
Yeah, we've got a few.
So you got crickets, the grasshoppers, are they out?
Oh, we haven't seen them like other years, actually, so they're probably on the menu as far as fishing goes.
And then 2 or 3 years ago we had a locust plague too. Yeah. So what triggers all that? Is it rainfall? Where do crickets go during winter? Where do they go? Surely you would. They play in the India Big League.
Yeah, that's right.
No, seriously. I've wondered, where do crickets go during the season that they're not at your window going,
what's that noise you get on your phone? You can never find one.
No, you never see them. What?
Cracks in the ground, the open country.
They go into cracks in the ground.
Wow, they've got to go somewhere.
Last time I looked in the backyard, I didn't have that many crickets. Sorry, I didn't have that many cracks in the ground. But I got a lot of crickets now. So, well, come on, you don't know, do you?
I don't know.
You don't know where crickets. Can you, please, people at home, anyone that knows where crickets go during winter when they're not, well, I can't even do a cricket noise. Whatever they are, the noise they make. Where do they go? Get on our Facebook page and tell us where the crickets go during the winter. Or send us a tweet if you want on our Twitter page. Yeah, I'll tell you all about that in a second. So, Trelly, grasshoppers, they become a diet of trout, presume cod too as well, do they? And those sort of, or are they really just a trout?
Probably more of a trout thing, but I suppose your other fish will eat.
Yeah,
so
and that's when people get the fly rods out, and it's that insects, and it's that time of year. But grasshoppers, where do grasshoppers go in winter?
With the crickets.
In the grass. They just don't hop. That's all.
They're just dumb questions. And don't forget, you can keep up to date on our official Facebook page with Catch of the Week, hotspots and much more. Don't forget to like us, and to make sure you're on the right Facebook page, just go to our website at talkingfishing.com.au and click on the links to Facebook and Twitter. You can join us in the conversation tonight, as I just said, using the Twitter hashtag on your screen now. I want to know where the crickets and the grasshoppers go during winter.
I might go to the bar.
If you're a trout, would you go, I can't wait till cricket season?
Oh, no. But
a lot of people during footy season go, can't wait till cricket season. But does a trout go, I can't wait till cricket? Are they a delicacy?
Right, and then halfway through, they probably say, I can't fit another one in.
You what?
You can't fit another one in probably halfway through the season.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Well, they sit there going,
not another cricket.
Terrible hopper season.
Oh, that one had more sauce, that one.
And they're hard to glue on on your hook too. You get a bit of super glue and put them on the hook.
What, the grasshoppers?
Yeah.
Is there a correct way to hook a grasshopper? This conversation's going silly.
Super glue.
Just super glue it.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Oh, I might have.
Boys, time to check out what's being caught by the people at home. Let's have a look at some of the catches of the week. And we'll kick off with a great gummy shark, Michael Buxton, who is the chairman of Future Fish Foundation. He was out with Sean Ferdier mid last week, actually, boys. I think, in fact, it might have been last Tuesday, and we just missed the photo for last week's episode, but a cracker gummy coming out of Rye, and there has been plenty more caught in the last week.
Yeah, so the
full moon about to happen in the next day or two.
That's right, the gummies have kind of slid under the radar a little bit with all the kingfish action and the kilo plus whiting, which we'll get to in a minute, but it's definitely well worth having a look around. I know Ryan, that southern part of Port Phillip Bay, fishing quite well, and I know down towards the western entrance of Western Port's been fishing really well too. So with the new moon approaching, or the full moon approaching,
it's time to get out and get some gummies if the whiting or the kingies go a bit quiet. And Sean Ferdier, he is the king of gummies. You know, whether it's Western Port, that time he sneaked over with Michael into Port Phillip Bay and just landed a nice one. And a sincere thank you to Michael for the text message at 4 o'clock in the morning of that lovely gummy. Got to love it when your mates text you like that. But anyway, number 2, Zach Miller. This is it, boys.
This is what we've been talking about.
A 54 centimetre King George whiting, 1.327 kilos. That's out the front of Tackle Cranbourne, properly weighed. That is a cracker of a fish.
And let me just say, a photo of a kilo plus 54 centimetre whiting does not do it justice.
1.327 kilos. Like, that's not just over a kilo. Yeah. That's broken the barrier, hasn't it?
That's huge.
That's worth $1,000 in a few weeks' time.
Tell me that doesn't give you a bit of confidence going into the whiting challenge.
Yeah.
That these fish exist.
Now, we don't know where that was caught. We don't know where that was caught. We just know Western Port, and that's just the way it is. You know, you catch a whiting like that, you sort of do want to protect where you got it. Would have come from the deep, I would have thought. But what a cracker fish, and congratulations, Zach, because I think that's the biggest one that we've seen in many seasons. So, and maybe the fruition of netting being banned in Western Port.
There you go.
Just those big ones, it's so good.
There you go.
Let's have a look at some more. Australian salmon are on the go at Kilcunda. Matt I've got to get this right. Prokopiev. Well done, Matt. That's a cracker of a salmon. I think he was down there with his dad. There's some big salmon around.
You don't associate salmon that big, especially on the surf beaches.
This time
summer.
of year?
I know that the bays fill up and certainly have filled up with Australian
salmon. And there's some big ones too.
Yeah, but off the beach, it's a cracker.
Getting some great reports on
it.
Yeah. Many people, even throughout Western Port, there's schools of salmon busting on the surface. And,
good eating, fresh? Good eating fish?
Take the bloodline out and they're not too bad.
Burley bucket or cat? What do you reckon?
Smoked, they're not too bad.
You've got to use one for cod bait or something like that. And I don't want to get onto iFish TV Facebook page if you want to see some real salmon. Because Paul is off. Paul Worsling's off Esperance in a helicopter driving along, finding the big black schools of salmon, and they're 4 kilo. Just giving him a plug because it is fantastic. Let's keep moving on. Albie de Ruden, a cracker 40 centimetre brown trout in a little place called Jim Crow Creek. It's a bit of a mouthful, near Hepburn Springs, out the back of Hepburn Springs. That's a cracker of a trout.
That's a nice trout, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Got to be happy with that. Well done to Albie. Mark Edwards, for those that, or no one would probably know Mark Edwards, but what happens every year, boys, is, and this is how good a Fisheries Victoria department we have in this state, is the staff, the management, all the senior executives, they go away for a thing called the Aqua Cup. I'm probably telling some top secret stuff here that the government doesn't want to let out, but the great staff of Fisheries Victoria go and have the Aqua Cup. They always get into Lake Tyers, and Mark Edwards is now the acting executive director of Fisheries Victoria. And to top it off, he just won the fishing comp, the Aqua Cup, with a, I'm just looking at my cheat sheet, is 79 centimetre. It was. That's a cracker of a flatty.
That's a big flatty.
Now, I think, from memory, I got a lot of emails from these boys all claiming that they were the best. I think they got 5 over 75 centimetres.
Oh. Yeah. But again, you talk about that Lake Tyers as far as netting issues and bits and pieces. It's had some great results down there.
Lake Tyers has been fantastic. You know, we were talking about. We'll talk about that later. That's a topic for later on, about trophy fisheries around Victoria. But Lake Tyers is a cracker. And do you know what? The saying goes, there ain't no second prize. Like Travis Dowling, he tries to say he's second. Loser. If you don't win, you don't win. That's it. No second prize. And let's have a look at a great estuary perch from the same trip. Bruce Kefford, I know you used to be Deputy Secretary, a great man. And Bruce comes into the shop a bit and gets all the gear. And him and his son have really taken to fishing. I'm not sure he was into it 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, but his team has won the Aqua Cup, I think, three years in a row.
That's a great effort too, because it's quite hard to find the estuary perch in Lake Tyers.
Yeah.
They're a bit of that sort of rogue, plenty of them, really hard to find,
Yeah.
hard to catch, especially in that system. That's a great catch.
I reckon
nice size fish too.
Bruce is spending way too much time fishing.
Yeah.
Get on with it, Bruce. Stop fishing. So some great fish. We will talk about some trophy waters because the list is getting longer.
We're about to add one to the list.
We're about to add one to the list, and there is some great fishing.
Yep.
We're going to talk about rock fishing safety later on too in the show because, boys, there's been a couple of deaths like we've talked about in the last couple of weeks. 2 drownings in the month of January, and it's just something that people need to get on top of and get on top of quickly. You know, like you see those salmon coming from Kilcunda, people will be tempted to go the back beaches of Phillip Island, the back beaches of the Mornington Peninsula. They've got to be doing the right things because
Definitely.
one death is one death too many. We've seen 2. I think we've seen 3 boats go over in Port Phillip in the last 2 weeks. So one at the Heads, one at Mornington. The other one the other day might have been off Altona. I think those guys were rescued the night before they ran aground, and by morning they turned the boat upside down or something like that. It was full of water. So
Wow.
there's some crazy stuff going on, and it's just one of those
You're right,
things.
one's too many, especially this day and age.
Yeah. But if you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au.
And coming up on Talking Fishing, product of the week, and we're joined by Jennifer Arch from Life Saving Victoria straight after this.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Now, product of the week, boys, is all about what fits in your suitcase, isn't it?
Nice.
Travel rods are travel rods, and I think if you go back in time, people would have thought a travel rod is a telescopic rod, something that collapses down and then you pull it out and probably lose a bit of strength and all that. And even those telescopics, boys, are a lot better than what they were in the past. I mean, we have some really, really great telescopic rods these days. But what we're going to talk about now is travel rods. And Trelly, you're going to talk about the first one because it's a bait caster.
Yeah.
Now, plenty of people going away for barra, but if they want to go for cod and they want to travel, they want to put it in their bag or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. The
show
airlines
us.
now, they're cracking down on what you can actually carry. What you can fit in your bag is very important nowadays, and especially when you get to some of those little lighter planes too, where you've got to actually get out to some of the islands and things. So you can see this one's actually a 3-piece rod. This is a nano. It's 5'9", 5 to 8 kilo. Now throughout the whole range, you'll find that the rods, as your lures, fit into a certain spectrum.
Yep.
Right. So you've got a heavy lure and a light lure. Again, you've got to marry up through the whole series of these, what we're talking about tonight. You've got to marry up the rod that fits into the spectrum of where the lure fits into the spectrum.
Yep.
So you match that up, and that's what we do at our stores. We match that up to give you a maximum cast with minimum effort.
Yep.
Okay, so, and what you're saying about travel rods is very, very true. The old travel rods, they'd sort of come, partly to the join, they're a big sort of flat patch and then partly joined to get part bend and part, So
And you can question the strength in some of those joins too,
You
I
do.
think, in the past.
Oh, absolutely.
But now they've got that down pat, haven't they?
They have, yeah. They're really, really good.
Yeah.
So that one there's on the
So
lower side.
that's just a normal fishing rod looks like. Pull it apart, show us how small it gets
Okay.
down
Well,
to.
this is why travel rods are so popular
Yeah.
these days, because the technology is so good going into the blanks that
Yeah.
when that rod is loaded up on a fish, it is got a true working curve rather than a little bit of a curve, than a big flat
Equally as
dead
good
spot.
as a one-piece rod.
Definitely, they are that good now, and hence why they're so popular. Like you said, Trelly, with airlines getting a
Now
lot
this
stricter.
one's is a step up in the T-curve range, and that's a 6 to 10 kilo Trelly. So I mean that's going to fight any barra or cod that you want to whack that onto.
Yeah, if you want to go to any of the impoundments, up in Queensland, chase big barra or even wild barra. I mean, if you're targeting bigger fish and you're throwing bigger lures, that's a style of rod that you want. Longer, a little bit of length in the butt so you can actually double hand cast.
Yep.
Big guides so you can get all those when you're tying on your leaders. They flow through the guides quite well. That type of thing's designed excellent.
If you're going to a place like Darwin or into Kakadu or places like that to go barra fishing, it's always great to have your own gear because you don't know what you're going to get on a charter.
Exactly.
So if you've got your own gear, get a travel rod. Now, you might have the best reels in the world, but if you haven't got the rods that you can fit on an aeroplane, get yourself a travel rod, and that is a cracker, isn't it?
And don't be scared to buy a travel rod purely because of all those other reasons that you've heard.
Yep.
You're quite happy to put that together and go fishing in the rivers around here.
Show us how small that one breaks into.
That one there.
3-piece again.
So that's your 3-piece. I could make it 6, but probably not.
It's not just bait casters, is it, boys? I mean, there's
that's right down to
a light
one
spin. Now, this one's a 7-foot, rated 2 to 4 kilos. If I can show that on the screen, going around that way. It's a nice light stick, and again, 1.
That's right. Now, these nano
2,
rods
3
also come with a hard plastic tube.
Yeah.
Yep.
So even when they're in your suitcase, they're still getting the maximum amount of protection. So, they're always getting looked after. That's the light one. They make them
Let's have a look at the next couple pretty quickly.
We're going to talk about rock fishing very shortly. There's a 9-foot rock fishing rod.
That one is one of my favourites because that's actually a 9-foot
4-piece.
4-piece. Let's go bang, bang, bang. There you go, 4-piece. Fits in a couple of rubber bands around that or a couple of rod wraps, and you've got a 9-foot rod. Beach, piers, rocks,
and
everything. That's good.
And this is the one that's unheard of. We've never had a reliable game rod which you can break down into multiple pieces.
Yeah.
That's a 3-piece game rod. It's rated to 24 kilos, so it's a serious fishing rod.
Again, part of the T-Curve range, so
that's right.
It's got the brand. And
and these have all been tested for their application too.
Yep.
I know Paul Worstling's taken that away up north, throwing big poppers for GTs and things like that, and catching just as many fish with just as much ease as, say, a 1-piece fishing rod. So a heavy application rod, 3-piece. These are becoming more and more popular because now with a lot more of the country being accessible to catch these big fish in unfished waters, you can now get there easily without having to worry about long rod tubes and airlines not taking rods that long.
So there you go, travel rods. They're not that old-fashioned or, the usage of them and the action of them. They've just caught up with the times. They're as good as any 1-piece or 2-piece. 3 and 4-piece is the way to go. Stick it in your suitcase safely, and you can use your own gear when you go on your holidays. So that's product of the week. Now, rock fishing safety has been a hot topic lately with 2 drownings, one at Portland and one at Sorrento last month. Shortly, we'll be joined by Jennifer Arch, Media and Communications Manager at Lifesaving Victoria, to discuss rock fishing safety. A few years back, Victor Fan, he survived being washed into the ocean. Here's Victor's story of what happened that day.
My name is Victor Fan. I'm born in mainland China. I moved in Australia 15 years ago, and about 6 years ago, went to rock fishing with my friends. I don't care how many fish or how big fish I can get. Just be relaxed. About 2 years ago, I went to the same spot for fishing with my friend, and then suddenly I turned my back to the ocean, and then a wave came and grabbed me in the water. Stayed in the water for about half an hour, and then policeman came in and jumped in and then rescued me out. Very lucky to be rescued and sent to hospital, straight into ICU for 2 days, and fully recovered. Very, very lucky, thanks God. After I discharged from the hospital, I done some research on the internet and realized a lot of people die just for rock fishing every year, and more than half of them are Chinese or Asian people. So I thought, maybe my story can tell other people how dangerous it is. I think learning swim is very important because when you do water sport, you might be fall in water or whatever, and if that happens, you can just help yourself out and don't need to wait other people to risk their life to rescue you. Rock fishing is very, very dangerous. You need to be very prepared. Safety. Safety is the most important thing for rock fishing or for any water sport, water activity. Be serious with your life and with other people's life. And doesn't matter how many fish or how big fish you can get on a day. The most important thing is get home safely.
Victor, a very, very lucky man there, as he explained. And Jennifer, welcome to Talking Fishing.
Thank you.
He is, I guess, a very, very lucky survivor. And one of the things I was fascinated with, so I think he said 50% of all fatalities are Chinese Asians. Is it that people just don't understand the dangers when they go rock fishing, or they don't know the conditions, or what is it?
Yeah, look, I think it's a combination of factors. The research that we've done in Victoria has shown that most of the people who drown when they're rock fishing, they're generally men, generally a little bit older, and we have had a predominance towards Chinese and Vietnamese background as well. So yeah, mixture of things. They may be alone, they may have turned their back to the sea, and the conditions might just be a bit different to what they're familiar with as well.
There's 3 key things you're asking people to do, aren't they? Aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. So the first one is to wear a life jacket when you're rock fishing. Since the year 2000, there have been 15 rock fishing drowning deaths in Victoria. Wow. None of those were wearing a life jacket. And the sad fact is that a life jacket could have saved those lives. So we're asking people to wear a life jacket. As with boating, you might not have time to put it on if something goes wrong, if a wave takes you by surprise. So wear it while you're rock fishing. They're much less cumbersome than what they used to be.
Oh, look at
they're a
Trelly.
lot smaller.
He's very comfortable, isn't he, Ads?
Good.
Hey,
I just need
what
it.
does this do?
There we go.
Always wondered what that did.
Got a cold spot in it now.
It's as easy as that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how easy it is. And until you did that, they weren't getting in the way. They're quite flat. They're not going to get in the way of your gear. The next thing that we're asking people to do is to always go fishing with a friend. Make sure someone else is with you.
Because you're in trouble then, Trelly.
If something goes wrong, if something goes wrong, there needs to be someone there to know what's happened and to raise the alarm and call emergency services. The third thing we're asking you to do is to check the conditions before you go down onto the rocks. It's really important to actually take the time to observe the wave sets, and really, give it a good 20 minutes or so you're seeing exactly what happens. If you just go straight down onto the rocks, you might not see the full set and might not know what to expect.
Yeah, and if you look at any boating fisherman, you'll always check the weather, the internet, whatever, know what's coming up. Is there a southerly change coming this afternoon? Is the tide on the rise or on the way out? Those sort of things are really important with rock fishing, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, conditions do change throughout the day, so we really do urge people to check those conditions and continue to monitor them throughout the day, because they can change quickly. There's so many great resources now to know about the conditions. Bureau of Meteorology have got a great mobile website. I think it's m.bom.gov.au, which gives you all updates and weather warnings. So there's definitely no need to be in the dark about what the conditions will be.
Now, I've got a concern that your message isn't getting through, because we ran a program with you guys at Lifesaving Victoria, a voucher that you were handing them out to rock fishermen, saying if you come back to Cranbourne and Tackle World, which is on the way on the South Gippsland Highway coming back from Phillip Island, which is probably one of the beaches where it's fairly responsible for some deaths, you get a half-price life jacket. So for $25, they could have got that, and we didn't have one person take up the offer. And that's disappointing.
Yeah, look, we're concerned about that too. As part of the rock fishing communications and research project that Lifesaving Victoria has been running for the past 2.5 years, we've been doing observational studies of people out on the rocks. And what we're finding is very few are actually wearing life jackets. So, we can't urge enough. They will save your life if you get into trouble. They're not very restrictive anymore. If you wear a life jacket, no one has drowned rock fishing if they were wearing a properly fitting life jacket.
There you have it, everyone. If you're going rock fishing this weekend or any weekend, do the right thing, be safe, because like you heard from Victor, after the event, you could be lucky, but 15 people haven't been. So that's just the way it is. You've got to think about it. Wear the life jacket, fish with a friend, check the conditions, the 3 things that are really, really important when you go rock fishing. Up next, fisheries news, and we'll debate whether Blue Rock Lake should have a speed limit or not. See you after this.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now it's time for the news, the fisheries news. Sounds a bit fishy to me.
And a bit of fisheries news this week. There's always plenty of fisheries news, boys, but a little bit comes this way. 60,000 fish swim into a healthier Wimmera River. Now, I've got a feeling the Wimmera is where a lot of the water was going down for environmental flows out of Rocklands, and people are saying put it into Tolondo. Tolondo's got its share. What they're saying is that the Wimmera River is very, very healthy now, and it's more than 70% above normal levels this year thanks to improved water quality and funding from Victorian recreational fishing licence fees. Fisheries Victoria officers recently released 60,000 golden perch fingerlings into the Wimmera River in an area stretching from Jeparrett in the north to Glenorchy in the south. The tiny fish, which weighed an average of 1 gram each, so they're only small little tackers, should be catchable size in 3 or 4 years. Fisheries Officer Murray Burns said the river normally received about 35,000 golden perch each year, but with extra environmental flows, the river health has improved, allowing for greater numbers. So
it's good news.
It's good news for golden perch. You ever fish down that way, Trelly, at all for golden perch?
Oh, I haven't fished down that way, but I know that the stocking, it certainly helps in all areas of stocking as far as golden perch and the natives go.
Next bit of news out of fisheries this week, Murray cod rulers. There's been revised fish length rulers for Murray cod. They're now available. The metre-long rulers provide an estimate of a Murray cod's weight based on its length. This avoids the need to weigh the fish with scales, which can be time-consuming firstly and cause damage to the fish if not done incorrectly, especially with large Murray cod. So there you can see it up on the screen there. Have you got them in the store?
Yeah, we do actually.
Murray cod ones?
You'll find that the new ruler has got the slot limit's actually a different colour. So it's easy to identify your fish.
Whether your fish is in that slot limit too.
And you will see people hold fish up by weigh them and do that type of thing. Don't do it. They don't hang like that in natural. No. So weigh them, support them and put them back in.
Yep. We haven't got them yet, so we'll have to organise them. But I think the public can get them too. Email fisheries. I've printed this out in the smallest font. Geez, if I could have another set of glasses on my glasses. Fisheries.products@depi.vic.gov.au if you want one, and probably we should email them tomorrow and see if we can get some in the shop as well.
I'll bring one there.
But in the past, they've had the snapper ones where you just measure your snapper and it gives you an estimate. Is it a 5 kilo or 5.2 kilo or all that sort of stuff? So, so it's a great idea from Fisheries.
Definitely.
And really particularly the importance of the slot limits, the new slot limits, the amount of cod that are getting caught, because they've certainly made a big comeback sort of thing. So,
absolutely. And New South Wales and Victoria having the same slot limits.
Huge help. Great initiative. Well done, Fisheries Victoria. Boys, I want to talk about a couple of things. Blue Rock Lake. We've spoken about it plenty of times. There was I guess something come out from Southern Rural Water, I think it is, saying that here's some proposals. They're going to change from 8 horsepower to 30 horsepower and do something with the boat length and that. But they got it wrong, and we hope that the horsepower limit's totally taken away, because we don't feel the need for that. And most people are operating those type of boats. A lot of them have an electric motor, so it doesn't matter about the horsepower because they're not speeding. Should it have a speed limit? Because we've had a lot of mail saying that's ridiculous. Don't not have a speed limit, and people are concerned that jet skis, water skiers, all that. Now, I'm told that water skiers and personal watercraft will be prohibited from Blue Rock, so I think that's out of the equation. But should there be a speed limit on Blue Rock?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep.
Especially now with the rising popularity of kayaks.
Yep.
I think...
Well, a lot of people complaining from kayaks. They're saying, we don't want boats doing 40 knots past us because they'll wash us off our kayaks.
Yeah, and okay, it's understandable. More importantly, you don't want anyone becoming an on-the-water speed bump, which can happen. But there's no...
Your speed limit.
There's no harm in having a speed limit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different out in the open bay.
Yeah.
But
if you haven't got a horsepower limit, you've got to have a speed limit, don't you?
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
Even if it's 10 knots, what's the average speed of a
Well, you want to get up on
the
plane. Do you want to get up on the plane to be able to move from A to B?
How big a lake is it? It's not that big a lake. I mean,
no.
It's not huge,
electric motor will get you around it there for...
And you're really only...
So, do you make it 15 knots? I don't know. Or do you make it 10? Look, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what we're debating.
Yeah.
Should there be a speed limit? I think we're all saying yes. And a lot of people that we've had, feedback from has said yes. But what is it? Is it 15 knots, 20 knots? And
does it vary depending on where you are?
At 15 knots, you probably cause a fair-sized wake from your boat anyway, which is going to annoy kayakers. So
You're right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. But again, let's get some comments on Facebook and Twitter. Go to our website, talkingfishing.com.au, and find our Facebook and Twitter pages. Give us some comments. I'd like to hear the people from the public. Let us know, do you think there should be a speed limit on Blue Rock Lake or not? And if you think there should be one, let us know what that is. Was it 10 knots, 15 knots?
And why?
Yeah,
it's a very interesting. It's hard to answer, really.
Right.
Because the powers to be are watching this show and they do appreciate the feedback. So let us know your thoughts. Kramer's Mailbag, plus all the details on two of the best fishing competitions in Victoria, up next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, talking fishing. Nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
I still have nightmares of that salmon I pulled out of the mailbox
I'm
that
just
day.
waiting for a big snap of the camera.
Sent me that salmon anyway. A bit of mailbag this week, boys. The first one's from Warren Simpson. He says, "G'day, David. On last night's show," so he wrote last week, "you had someone mention the possibility of using the desal plant to supply water to inland waterways, as the plant is being paid for currently by water users anyway. If my recollection is correct, and it may not be, the pipe was not set up to allow the south to north pumping that would be required to do this, requiring the installation of extra pumps and valves to do so. However, there is one dam in Gippsland which was recommissioned for Melbourne Water's benefit in 2009 by the construction of a treatment plant located near Neerim South, roughly 100 k's east of Melbourne. This is one reservoir whose water supply to Melbourne could easily be replaced by the desal plant. At the moment, boating and fishing are both banned at this dam, and the desal plant provides an opportunity to change this. A survey of the lake would need to be done before any stocking occurs, as it may harbour a good population of river blackfish, populations of which have taken a battering elsewhere. If good populations of this fish are found within the lake, it may be a good opportunity to bolster their stocks through careful placement of snags, etc." So I heard coming into the show tonight, I think it might have been on 3AW with Tom Elliott, he was saying that the desal's already costing us $1 million a week or whatever it is. Yep. I think if they started to operate it, I think it probably cost us $5 million a week. And I'm not sure that operating that just to put water in for fishing, I don't think it's going to happen.
It's not a viable thing.
No.
But we should go and check out that little fishing spot he's talking about.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I've heard there's some good trout in there.
Good spot for a survey, I'd say.
Yeah, we've got 3 good surveyors just here, I can tell you. This one here from Tim. He's from Balnarring Fishing Club. "Hi, Dave. I've been catching up on some Talking Fishing that I've recorded, and I've just had the chance to watch the Lake Tolondo episode. I would like to congratulate yourself for all the hard work that you've done over the past few months on Talking Fishing, filling in the viewers on the current issues. Without this show, I wouldn't have even known about the issue Lake Tolondo has had. I even got a little emotional seeing the water run into the lake. Great job, mate. Cheers, Tim." That's reflective of a lot of people who have made the same comment, that they wouldn't, many people haven't even fished Lake Tolondo, and they wouldn't even know that it exists, nor did it have the problem, nor did they know that it was a premier trout fishery. So that's what we're all about, and I know a lot of people do thank us personally when they come into the shops and stuff like that and talk to us. That's what we're here for, just trying to give you a little bit of information. And another one here, this one, Trelly, I think I mentioned it the other week, but I didn't have this bit of paper with me. I've got it here with me now. "Love fishing the Victorian freshwater systems." It's from Peter Sherman. "Unfortunately, we catch a lot of carp. What is the acceptable method of disposing of these noxious fish? I don't like leaving carcasses on the bank. The odour is foul and it reflects badly on anglers. I've asked fisheries in the past and it was suggested I kill them and take them home. Honestly, I don't like that opinion either." So this is what he suggested. Deheading and throwing them back in. You'd say yes or no, Trelly? Deheading them and throwing them back in?
No.
Removing their tail fin and releasing for them to swim and die later? Yes or no? You get a buzzer.
Maybe.
Careful.
No, that'd be cruel.
Yeah.
No animal will be hurt in this show.
Bury them? That wouldn't hurt.
That poor bone
Yes.
grub.
Bury them.
Yeah,
So you're not going to harm them, just bury them.
Yeah.
Okay. Cremate them on a campfire?
Well, you can give them to your
No,
mother-in-law.
It's been done.
I was going to say, after,
Tick. It's been done.
after 300 bourbons, he'd probably cremate them and then eat them. And the last one is freeze them and use them as fillets as bait for saltwater fishing.
Exactly. That's another one you can do. It's
What, you're allowed to use them as bait?
It's very well. I'd have to check that out actually.
You're allowed to return them into saltwater?
Well, I don't think they'd survive, but I know over some period of time that they have been used as good saltwater cray bait. So I'd have to check that out legally. But yeah, the mother-in-law, they do tend to get their fair share of carp, probably. I don't know.
Boys, lucky last, and I haven't actually got the bit of paper with me. I've lost it completely. But a viewer, wrote in and said, "What's this fish? What species is it?" Now, he didn't say where he caught it, and all I know is that he was watching Talking Fishing.
Yep.
What species is that, boys?
Ross? Large.
We actually have no idea.
No, a largemouth nanagai.
Nanagai.
Or
Saddle-tail snapper.
A saddle-tail snapper.
That's
Someone
from the
said in the
crowd.
background.
Yeah.
voice from the crowd.
Live
Voice from the
audience.
crowd, yeah. We have got a live audience in tonight. Got no idea myself.
No, that was looked up. That was officially
well,
looked
that's-
up.
Oh, you reckon that's
No,
it?
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
I
Google
was going to
said
go
so.
to Facebook and Twitter and get
Nah,
everyone to...
Google
Oh,
said
well,
so.
see, you can get a different answer, I suppose.
Tell us if we're right.
Well, if people get onto our Facebook page, talkingfishing.com.au, like our Facebook or
Yep.
tweet us or
I'm
whatever you have
happy
to
to be
do,
corrected.
whatever. Let us know what you think that species is, and we'll get your feedback and put on air next week. So, guys, now if you'd like to write to me or these blokes, this is what you have to do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
And as I mentioned, you can keep up to date with our official Facebook page with Catch of the Week, hotspots and much more. Don't forget to like us. To make it easy, just go to our website, talkingfishing.com.au, and click on the links to Facebook or Twitter. And a bit of feedback we might get tonight. I know there's some tweets coming through. They're telling me in my ear, so might get a few answers to those questions, which we'll talk about next week. Boys, a couple of big fishing competitions. The Victorian Game Fishing Club's big comp is on this weekend.
Yep.
Sharks, kingfish, all sorts out, and should be cracker weather too.
Yeah.
If there's a little bit of a northerly, because I mean, it's going to be
warmth too.
34, 35 this
we're gonna
weekend.
get warmth.
If it's a northerly, those areas, the back of Phillip Island, the back of Mornington Peninsula, I think we'll see a lot of makos, a lot of kingfish.
Kings, yep.
And I think all the details, might have had them just up on screen, I think. Get down to the club. Hastings, I think it's about 3 o'clock is the weigh-in. Get down there on Sunday and you're likely to see some very, very good fish. So that's one comp. The other one is the Western Port Angling Club's Whiting Challenge, boys. Victoria's premier whiting fishing competition. That's coming up Saturday, 28th of Feb and Sunday, the 1st of March. Our good friends down at Western Port Angling Club. Rex Hunt will present the prizes from 4 p.m. on Sunday, and $1,000 to the person who weighs in the first 1 kilo plus King George whiting. And if old Zach had... If old Zach had weighed that in last,
the kilo whiting,
he would have won $1,000.
That's right.
Yeah.
Does he pay $1 for extra increment
gram,
of
isn't it?
over?
Is it 1,000 grams to a kilogram?
No,
Is it?
100 grams.
We are so
No,
good with
1,000
our maths tonight.
Are they grams?
Is it 1,000 grams to a
Grains.
kilogram?
Yeah. No, but does he pay like over the, like if it's a kilo, 1.1 kilo, is that like $1,100?
Is that what you mean? No, you
No, does
just
he
get it. As
progressively
long
do
as
that?
you break that 1
Or can we just
kilo,
make
you
that
get
rule now?
$1,000.
Oh, well, you might as well catch one just over a kilo, I suppose.
Yeah, you may as well. 1.327, that's overrated.
Yeah.
It's way too heavy.
Did I see a tweet on there? Someone going down to Wilson's Promontory. They were asking us some.
I'm not sure.
Some
Why did
questions
you see that
down
up
there.
on the screen?
Yeah,
But why didn't you
absolutely, yeah.
mention it was on the
Oh,
screen?
we thought
no,
they would
he's
have been
still
talking in
watching
your ear. Like,
Oh, they're
Yeah,
talking to me
so-
here, all right. I can tell you.
Wilson's
I can
Prom
tell
would be
you.
a-
There we go.
There you go. There's
Yeah.
a tweet. Hey guys, going down near Wilson's Prom for the first time. Any tips? Love the show. Talk Fish Live. Wilson's Prom will be a cracker, particularly if it's a northerly
Yeah.
this weekend. it'll be fantastic fishing down there. Even if you're land-based off Tidal River, if those big salmon are at Kilcunda, they're going to be around some of those beaches around there. You may even get some nice whiting in some of those, those areas where there's weed patches. Calamari off some of those.
Kings offshore.
Oh, absolutely. Wilson's Prom would be absolutely fantastic this time of year. So, but anyway, coming up on Talking Fishing, this week's hotspots and what's coming up on C31 Fishing right after this.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Hello, Richie Minnow here. It's now time for this week's Fishing Hotspots on Talking Fishing. Marvellous.
And boys, lots of hot spots this weekend because it's a very warm weekend coming up. I think forecasts of mid-30s, 34, 35.
Hot air.
And it's hot.
It's a bit hot in here as well, isn't it?
It's hot air. And I think not too much wind either. Oh, it's hard working with Trelly, I can tell you. Boys, hot spots. Beaumaris, number one. There's been some cracker pinky snapper off there. It's that time of year, isn't it, where people get the plackies out and head for those. Kingfish still busting up in patches off Beaumaris. Some nice King George whiting not far from there, and calamari. So it's actually a little hot spot that not too many people are visiting right now.
And even off the pier there, right on dusk, you'll get all those species.
And you know, if there's a bit of north or a bit of east, that is so calm in Beaumaris there. Just got to watch out for that, what do they call it? The Marine Park.
Yeah.
But what a nice place to fish with a little bit of north and a little bit of east. Second one's the Rip. Sorry, people. They're all going to complain next week saying there was 300 boats there this weekend.
Yeah.
But we've got to say the Rip. Not many people have fished it this week, but do you know you can get on a webcam on Point Lonsdale? Just Google Point Lonsdale webcam and you can control it.
Yeah.
Right? So you only get about 2 minutes to control, then it goes to the next user.
Rip view?
Something like that.
Rip view.
Yeah, it's a ripper view, but you zoomed in today, and there was so many boats in the Rip today on the Kingfish. It was just ridiculous. Yeah. Does anyone work? It's like snapper season. Does anyone work? So some ripper. I know Mitch Bertuccini, you had a photo up on.
Some better fish too. There's been some better fish turn up over.
I think they had 15 on their charter that were all around a metre.
Yeah.
Like, they're nice
That's
fish.
awesome.
Yeah, so anyway, the Rip, sorry people, there's going to be a lot of people there. That's the way it is. Enjoy the great kingfishing that we've got. Number 3, St Leonard's is just whiting capital in Port Phillip at the moment. So some great whiting, up to 42 centimetres we've heard from this week. Pip is the best bait, run in tide the best time. So pick your times on the weekend. And
how long was that kilo one? So
54 centimetres.
54, so yeah, it's not... Yeah,
it's getting there.
Yeah, 42 centimetre,
nice
thank you very much in beer batter. I like that any day. 54 centimetres feeds a family of 6, unless it's you, Trelly. Balnarring's the next one, over into Western Port. Again, some very big whiting coming from the Balnarring area, and offshore a little bit deeper, some nice gummies. Sort of, you get into that western channel, western entrance there, but some cracker King George whiting coming from Balnarring at the moment.
And a lot of the older boys, I know Donnie fishes down there quite a bit, who we speak about every week, which I think it was his 95th birthday this
95th birthday during the week to Don Newman from Western Port Angling Club.
He
Happy
fishes
birthday.
There. He fishes there quite a lot, and it's a big fish spot.
Yeah.
You might not get your bag of 20, but what you're getting is quality.
Well, he should know what he's doing by now.
He should.
I'm starting to forget what he's doing. I can tell you. You would have seen him. He still works for us every Saturday. I tell you what, he's forgetting what he's doing. Yeah. Boys, Flinders Pier's the next one. Some cracker calamari coming from there. I'm talking 2.5 kilos.
Yeah, real calamari.
Yep. I got one tip.
The Kraken.
Go where the black inkies on the deck of the pier, because Flinders Pier is absolutely on fire for big calamari. And again, bit of north in the wind, nice and protected there. And I think a lot of people will be heading there this weekend for some big calamari. If you want to go land-based, it's sensational. Number 6, the Tyab Bank. Again, very, very good calamari fishing. And people, I know we talk whiting, kingfish, the snapper, the gummies, makos, they'll all be, but get back to some big calamari because they're around at the moment, and also some King George whiting not far from the Tyab Bank. Great fishery there.
I love fishing the Tyab Bank for whiting because it's very active. You're just moving from sandhole to sandhole. Like I said, lots of moves, lots of casts. When you find them, you tend to get them pretty quickly. I reckon it's a great place to fish.
Isn't it the wonderful thing about fishing and what we're talking with the hotspots? Your tackle box has to be so diverse.
Yeah.
We've gone from poppers to jigs to whiting to stuff. You know,
To pippies
it's a whole range. It's just great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just endless.
It shows you how good
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
Victoria fishery is too. So many different species in this little area we've got to fish in. It's great.
And, I mean, this show's going right through till the 28th of April, I think. So we're right through for another few months. We've got some of the best fishing still to come.
Definitely.
Like, I don't think
season hasn't started yet.
Yeah, and I don't think we've even reached the peak of water temperature in Port Phillip Bay.
No, that's right.
I mean, I haven't looked at the graph this week, but it's usually about another week or two before we're there. So, you know, but tell you what, hot spots, hot water. We've got some great fishing ahead. I think we've had some tweets come through. Helen sorry, we're going to show hot spots there. Helen, what's a good place for fishing for garfish in Melbourne? I'd get a little bit out of Melbourne. I haven't heard too much about Brighton and that sort of area, but certainly Mordialloc Pier and Frankston Pier, there's been some great reports of kingfish. And silverfish, the best bait at the moment.
Yeah, Beaumaris Pier, which we spoke about in hotspots, they get quite large congregations, very well at night time. They've got that big light that sits on the end of the pier. Fish under that, and that's where your gars are going to be.
One more tweet, heading down to Shallow Inlet, Sandy Point with the tinny for the weekend. What would you target there? Thanks, boys.
Another whiting.
Great
King
spots.
George
Whatever.
whiting.
That's right.
Salmon, gummies.
Yeah. But
Trelly,
place.
there's all sorts of
But
stuff.
down there at Shallow Inlet, there's some massive King George. Well,
There
not
is.
massive.
Yeah.
40, well into the mid 40s.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
you can get some big. Get into very clear water. If you can find 6 or 7 metres with some weed beds, I think you're really in with
It's
a
a
great
great
show.
little tinny spot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's one of the places
Perfect.
I know. It's just a great little tinny spot.
Absolutely, yeah. Boys, I just want to talk about a topic, if I can, because we're a couple of months out from Easter. We've got a new government that's made a whole lot of promises, and one of the promises they have made is to ban netting in Port Phillip Bay, and it's got to start happening pretty soon. You know, I think we've seen Tolondo, which was great. I know there's a bit of work going on to Blue Rock. I know there's a bit of work going on Hazelwood for the barramundi, but the netting work's got to start very soon, because the netters, from what I'm told down in Cryo Bay particularly, they're working hard, and seriously, rec anglers have got to get maybe a bit of pressure on the government and say, come on, start the process. We want it now.
We are getting more and more reports down there of grass in the water. You know, the netters are breast.
Yeah.
And we really have to do, what we'd have to do is put a value on the environment down there for the fish.
Yeah. Trelly, a lot of people head down that way to Bellarine Peninsula, even the Mornington Peninsula where you've got the March long weekend. Not long after you've got Easter. I think Easter falls on about the 2nd of April. So, to be fair, seriously, I reckon they've got to ban netting for a month before Easter. Now, last year, and I was really disappointed because I thought it was nonsense. Verfish come out and said that they had negotiated with the netters to not net during Easter. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They'd slaughtered the areas before people got on their holidays. There was nothing left.
Yeah.
Stopping for 4 days isn't good enough. Stopping for a month before Easter, I reckon, is.
Absolutely.
Damage is done
agreed
already,
totally.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, some of these pristine recreational fishing areas that bring millions of dollars into the economies, these local economies, they need to be looked after for a month before Easter. And I think the time has come. Netting's going anyway. Let's call for a ban for a month before Easter. I think it's the only fair thing to do.
Definitely a fair thing. Yeah, I'm all in.
Boys, coming up on C31, I'm just going to try and find my bit of paper because I know it's here somewhere. Coming up on C31 tonight, straight after us, Catch and Cook at 9:30, 10 o'clock, Savage Seas Adventures. On Wednesday, which is tomorrow, 6:30 in the morning, Liquid Vision, which is a new show. Thursday, 6:30 in the morning, Australian Fishing Network, and 10 o'clock Liquid Vision. Friday, 6:30 in the morning, Catch and Cook, and 7 o'clock Liquid Vision. And then on Saturday, the big extravaganza, Liquid Vision at 10, 10:30 Savage Seas, 11 Australian Fishing Network, 11:30 That's Fishing, and 12 o'clock Catch and Cook. By the way, all of these go up onto our Facebook page tomorrow, so if you want to check them out, just get on our Facebook page. But Saturday night, That's Fishing, Liquid Vision, and Australian Fishing Network from 6:30, 7 and 7:30. And boys, I'm told Talking Fishing in March will start to be repeated as well. So,
there you go.
Very nice. Must be some good results out there, is it?
Well, I think so. I think some people are watching Australia. Yeah, I think some people. In
No,
fact,
I know my mum and dad watch every week.
In fact, we're in a very high-profile meeting this morning with a bloke called Mick from Morwell, and they get it down at Morwell, don't they?
That's right.
I wish I had a photo of Mick or a bit of video because Mick was in fine form.
And you're watching it now.
He would be watching it now. G'day, Mick. No, the way he was today, I reckon he'd be on the couch asleep. But anyway, Mick from Morwell, a great fan of the show, and anyway, he'd be just
Local legend.
He'd just be enjoying it. Boys, I think we had the Victorian Game Fishing Comp. We didn't put the slide up, but we might have it now, maybe. This weekend, get down to Western Port Angling Club to the fishing club rooms down there at Western Port Angling Club at Hastings Boat Ramp, 7th and 8th of Feb, which is this week. And $25,000 plus in prizes. It's a great competition. You'll probably see some of the best kingfish, the best makos, perhaps a thresher, that sort of stuff. So that's it. Anyway, that's it for Talking Fishing. Hope you enjoyed the show. A very warm weekend coming up this weekend, and hopefully you'll all catch lots of fish. Be sun smart, keep covered, and until next Tuesday evening, stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing.